What's up, Jeff? We finally did it.
What's up, buddy? It's about time. This is a long time coming, isn't it?
I know. It's crazy, man. I know we've been talking about this for so many months now. I'm just glad we just got this off the ground and we're ready to do this.
Yeah, I remember even I think last year or 2 years ago, I put out a video where I was talking about my favorite YouTubers, my favorite whiskey YouTubers, and I'm pretty sure I had you at number one on that list. And it's just kind of mind-boggling that it took us this long to get together, huh?
Dude, I want to genuinely talk about that as well because I remember I woke up one morning. This is a little more than 2 years ago, I remember, and I had like a really nice uptick in subscribers that day, and I was like, "What the hell happened?" Because I haven't put out anything for the last like couple of weeks or 2 months or whatever, and then I was, and because I watch your videos regularly, I was like, "Oh my god, this good dude's giving me a shout out." Yeah, you set aside like almost like 5 minutes talking about my channel. I really appreciate that, man.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it's just like when you watch channels, and there's so many great channels out there that I don't even know how many at this point, got to be hundreds at this point, but
Yeah.
there's so many great channels. But like once you find someone that you connect with, like you're one of the few channels where it's just like pretty much every video, I'm going to click on it, I'm going to watch it the whole way through, just because I like the energy you bring, man.
I appreciate that. That's awesome. Same, likewise, man. Likewise. Again, you're one of the few whiskey channels that I definitely watch regularly, right? And
That's great.
and I don't think the audience knows that we've kind of known each other for like I want to say at least 10 years now.
Yeah, so more than 10 years because I remember both of us were on a website called Connoisseur, Whiskey Connoisseur. It was like connoisseur.com, right?
That's
And
right.
it's this old kind of like forum-based website where people can write up reviews. And I think that's kind of it was pre-whiskey base, or maybe it was around the same time as whiskey base, but I think at the time that was the more popular of the two. And I remember both of us were posting kind of semi-regularly there. And the internet was a lot smaller back then, especially as it pertains to whiskey. So it was one of the few sites where you would go to if you really wanted to check up on a bottle, find out about it or something. And yeah, I remember coming off quite a few of your write-ups there.
Yeah, I remember that. I think it was more popular than whiskey based because it was very community driven, and I
Yeah.
remember you could start forums and have chats with different whiskey bloggers or reviewers, and that was a lot of fun. I made quite a number of friends, very very knowledgeable friends, including yourself, by the way, during my time there. I wonder if
Yeah,
this
yeah,
if
yeah.
it's still active though, the site.
I haven't looked at it in ages. It's possible. And, all due respect, if it is still up and running, good on them. But I guess just having you segued into doing videos nowadays, I'm less into the blog stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's up and running. Probably.
Probably. Well, that was good, man. Listen, I just want to, before we get into the stuff, I just want to say I love what you've done so far with your channel. I'm so insanely impressed with what you've done so far. And your videos, they're so utility based. There's so much knowledge I can get from there. They're simple, they're concise. I love the fact that I can relate to you, and I think I try and bring the same to my channel as well because it's like watching a friend talk to you about a whiskey while sitting in your whiskey room or bar or whatever it is. So well done, man. Kudos.
Oh, appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean, my whole thing going into the channel is that I did want to make it kind of casual, kind of fun. And actually, if you go back and watch my very early reviews, I was kind of stiff and very sort of like just information and but over time, I think I found my voice, and I do like talking about whiskey in a much more casual way. I crack a bunch of really fucking stupid jokes on the channel sometimes, but it's all just a matter of like lightening the mood. And I think there's space for all kinds of channels out there. Some are a little bit more long form, some are more concise, some are they take the matter a little bit more seriously. I like to do it a little bit more casually myself. But yeah, I remember thinking, you know what, there's a space for something a little bit quicker and a little bit less serious because just, depends on the person. But for me, whiskey's fun. And yeah, I try not to take it too seriously.
Yeah, me too. I agree. Though I have this, I got a comment recently on one of my videos where the dude, somebody was like, "Dude, it took you 6 minutes to get to the first whiskey." And so I have this. I think I have this habit of kind of losing myself and just sort of rambling on and not making any sense. Which is why I was like, "Hey, man, I'm really sorry about that." But I have time stamped everything. I don't know if I can, change myself now. But I have this habit of droning on a lot. But yeah, I guess it is what it is.
No, I think see your videos they're a little bit longer than mine, but they're not too long. And a lot of the fun of your videos is that it does feel just kind of like a conversation. It kind of just feels like you're just chatting with your buddies. And oftentimes when you're talking about whiskey, you might you want to explore things a little bit more. You want to get into it. So it's not like every video or every kind of channel or every channel out there rather needs to be concise and like, all right, get to the point, get to the whiskeys.
Yeah.
A lot of the reason people do tune into you is just because they want to have that sort of interactive feeling. They want to have that sort of like casual chat vibe. And one thing you get into YouTube, you get into putting videos out on the internet, you start to realize you're never going to make everyone happy. Some people don't want to hear anything other than whiskey recommendations. They don't want to hear you talking about anything else. They want just the bare minimum facts, and they get pissed if there's any filler in there. Other people tune in because they like you, they like your personality, and they like the banter. So, you cut one out, other people will complain. You cut this out, then someone else will chime in and be like, this is bad. So you're never going to make everyone happy,
I know, man. Story of my life. But this is good, man. So tell me, let's talk about some of the whiskeys or distilleries that you're fascinated with currently. I have a couple that popped up on my radar a couple of years ago, and they're just going from strength to strength. And I'm trying to get as many of those expressions as I can to try and experience. What is like that one or two distilleries that's like caught your attention right now?
It's hard to will it down to just two. I am very famously a big Oban fan, but to be honest, I haven't been drinking too much Oban recently for no particular reason. Still love them. But another brand that I have been, singing about for years now is Longmorn. And for me,
wow.
Man, that is such an underrated distillery. And the thing is, they've gotten a little bit expensive, and their whiskeys are a little bit exclusive. They didn't used to be. So I don't necessarily love that about them, but you can find so many great Longmorn IBs out there.
I was just going to say,
Yeah. And even just their core range expressions, yes, they are pricey, but if you can afford them, I think they are some of the best whiskeys out there. I think it's an absolutely slept on distillery. I wish they had more output.
Yeah, funny you should mention Longmorn. One of our local partners here, Pernod Ricard, they've been promoting a lot of the older Longmorns coming in at cask strength. They have, I think they have a 22 or 23-year-old cask strength Longmorn that's come in. But crazy pricing on that though. Crazy pricing.
Yeah. No, I mean,
great whiskey.
It is a great whiskey. And it's a little bit tough to say, oh, you absolutely have to, it's tough when something's expensive to, run out and say, you guys need to buy it. You need to get more Longmorns, because exactly that. It's not the best value whiskey, and it's not the cheapest whiskey. Mm-hmm. But man, if you want a really good, really bright, interesting distillate, that is absolutely one of my go-tos recently. So I've been drinking a lot of Longmorns, particularly IB stuff. But how about you? What are you into recently?
So I think a couple of years ago, I was vacationing somewhere with the family, and I came across this GlenAllachie 10-year-old cask strength, which blew my socks off. Oh. Right now, I'd heard of GlenAllachie. I hadn't tried it at that point. And if you know me, I'm a sucker for high strength first fill bourbon barrels. That's my sweet spot. That's what you bribe me with if you ever need anything from me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it just hit all the right spots. And then I sort of started getting into it big time. And then, their sherry versions as well. Their 12-year-old, I think it's a PX and Oloroso from the core range, is absolutely stunning in my opinion. And I love the fact that they're doing some very interesting work. You know, there's so much pedigree with that whiskey, especially with Billy Walker at the helm. I like the fact that they're very, very, conscious about the ABV at 46%, making sure it's non-chill filtered, no coloring added, all the good stuff, right? And I think the whiskeys, they speak for themselves. So right now, massively getting into GlenAllachees. And again, not just the OBs, right? I picked up a couple of these signatory cask strength GlenAllachees. In fact, I've one somewhere in the back over here. Just stunning. And it's at like 66% or something ridiculous like that.
Oh man, I've had a couple of those GlenAllachees. And the thing is, traditionally I haven't been the biggest GlenAllachie fan, especially when we're talking about the distillate that they inherited. Now we have the younger ones, the Michael Tors, I don't know how to say that, but the peated line. So there's distillate coming out that Billy Walker produced himself, but a lot of what he inherited previously, for those first few years, I wasn't really convinced, and I was a little bit critical, and at some point I might have said lipstick on a pig, and I was very dismissive of GlenAllachie because I thought, okay, you know what? I don't think it's the most interesting distillate underneath, and then maybe that's why they're just slapping so many active casks on top of it. But then I tried some of those signatory ones that you're talking about, and they weren't quite as sherry forward. Maybe they were refill or something, but the sherry wasn't quite as in your face, and the distillate absolutely shone. It was gorgeous stuff. Yeah. And even now, even they rebranded recently. I don't know if there was a change in quality, but I didn't notice. But they're a 12-year-old, they're 10-year-old, really good whiskeys still.
Yeah, great whiskeys, great pricing as well. Again, they appear in so many of my, budget whiskeys or whiskeys under 50, 60 pounds, So I think for the money, one of the best value whiskeys in town right now, in my opinion. And I think they can only get better,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I do. I'm a fan. I don't think I have any on the go right now. I should pick up more. Have you got the 18 in your market? Because I can't find it anywhere, and I'm told it's really good.
The GlenAllachie 18?
Yeah, the GlenAllachie 18. I have not seen it in years, and it's been recommended to me a few times online, but it doesn't seem to be around. I don't see it in my market.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, I'm not 100% sure, but you know what? I'm going to look out for it.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, GlenAllachie is a good one. Also, there's one more that I want to talk about that I've been really into, and this one might be a bit of a surprise because it's a distillery that I previously kind of trashed, and I it's not that I trashed them, but I come at them for consistency, which I do think is still an issue. But I've been getting more and more into a favorite of yours, Ardbeg, because for the longest time,
let's talk, man. Let's talk.
Yeah. No,
I'm glad
for the longest,
it's finally on your radar.
Well, no, it's Ardbeg was probably one of my first peated whiskeys, and I remember loving the 10, the Ugadal. I remember those early days, especially on that website we're talking about, Connoisseur. People would be comparing Ugadal batches and stuff like that. So I have a very long history with Ardbeg, and I love their distillate. I think it's a beautiful whiskey. But the criticism that you always hear about them, and I think it's very fair, is that they've spread themselves too thin. And it's, special release after special release, and a lot of their core range has suffered. And I don't know that that's wrong, but I have noticed that for the last year or so, I've really been getting back into them. Now they had a release a couple of years back. There was a special release, and that one was called the Bizarre BQ, which I really enjoyed. Beautiful sherry one. You had that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah,
and I was like,
I had good things to say about that.
Yeah, I had it. I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe they're getting back on track. I like this. That one wasn't too expensive either. Recently, I picked up the Smokyverse, and I think that one is beautiful. That one's a little bit more, some people like it, some people don't, but I'm very much on the side of, I think it's a beautiful whiskey. It's a little bit sweeter for an Ardbeg, so that's something to be aware of going in, but I'm really enjoying that one. And the 10, which I always criticize for inconsistency, My buddy's got a bottle on the go. I had a bottle not long ago, and they have been fantastic. The Ardbeg 10, or at least the recent releases that I've had, are back where they should be. So I can't really fault them for consistency there. The Uigeadail is the Uigeadail. It's still a beautiful whiskey. Not what it once was, of course, but I still think it's a really solid sherried option, and I still enjoy it. So yeah, Ardbeg. I've been getting back into them recently.
That's so good to hear, man. And judging by your picks, it seems like I think you favor the slightly sweeter Ardbegs, because both the Bizarre and the Smoky Verse for me were sweeter than most Ardbegs. I think the Bizarre is probably sweeter than the Smoky Verse for me.
Sure.
But you know what I also appreciate? I appreciate, two things about Ardbeg for sure. Of course, sometimes they get lost in the special release, and I get it. But the two things I really appreciate about that distillery is they don't take themselves too seriously, which I really appreciate, right? And I see that when I go to the Isla Festival every year, and you see the distillery staff, they're all dressed up. Somebody's dressed up as a pirate, somebody's dressed up as a monster, somebody's dressed up as a clown, and they're all running around. And you kind of get, you get drawn into that hospitality, that sense of welcoming that they have. So it's hard to hate on somebody that's so cute, you know what I mean? And I don't think that's necessarily how anyone would describe Ardbeg as being cute, but go to the distillery, meet the people, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I think they get criticized, because they're not their marketing is anything but traditional. They've got, space stuff and cartoon dogs and comic books and stuff like that. And I think it's easy to kind of brush them off for the marketing team. And whether or not you approve of that kind of marketing, it's harmless. It does seem to be effective. People seem to be, some people seem to be enjoying it. And yeah, ultimately, I do think it's cute. I've probably criticized them in the past for it, but the older you get, you're more just like, you know what, they're doing something different. Let them do it. It's fine. It's cute.
Yeah.
And the whiskey's good,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So cool. The other one I want to talk to you about, one more whiskey that's been really growing on me recently, is Ardnamurchan.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, and I first came across it. We did a private tasting with some friends, and one of my friends he bought the Ardnamurchan. I think it was the cask strength, if I remember correctly. And again, first fill bourbon barrel cask strength whiskeys. You had me at hello. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was really good. The distillate really, shown itself. It was just very pristine, great. You can tell good cask management when you drink a good whiskey. You know what I mean? And it was really doing that. And then after that, I've been able to get my hands on a few. My last one was a Madeira cask finish that I picked up in the UK recently, and just absolutely stunning. So that's the one distillery again that I've really been focusing on and trying to get in as many bottles as I can.
Oh, that is a great brand. Yeah, and it's such a unique kind of there's a lot of new distilleries coming up, but they really took the whiskey world by storm, because it's like 2014 or something that they opened. So they literally have only existed for like 11 years, and they're already, just in that time, like they're one of the top names in whiskey. Everybody knows about them. Everyone likes them. Almost everyone I know likes them. It's a very unique, there's a lot of younger distilleries, but no one's really shot to fame like them. But to their credit, they deserve it. Yeah, I totally agree. Beautiful distillate, good cask management, and not afraid to experiment either. Have you tried some of their single cask stuff and some of their more obscure, cask strength releases?
No, not yet. I think my first one was an OB cask strength, if I remember correctly. I've not really got my hands on any independents yet, or any one of their. I don't even know if they have independents, to be honest. Maybe they're too young to have independents just yet.
They might. Yeah, I don't know. I've never had, but I've had a few of the single casks. It's like those black bottles, right? And those can be gorgeous.
Okay. I don't even know about that, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they are OBs. They are from the brand, but they're just like these single cask releases, and they'll have whatever PX casks, Oloroso casks. I've had 2 or 3 of those, and those were absolutely gorgeous. Definitely worth checking out. More expensive, but really good. Really, really good.
Oh, good. Okay, thanks for the tip. I'll check it out. So tell me something. What are you buying lately these days?
So lately I am getting into more IBs. And I shudder to say that because normally I don't talk about IBs too much on the channel because I want to talk about things that most people can buy, that most people have access to. And that's not the case for IBs. Going back, you can't make everyone happy. And, part of the YouTube game is that you do want to appeal to a broad audience, right? But I do buy IBs. I do like IBs. And I think, occasionally I probably should talk about them a little bit more on the channel. So maybe at one point I will review some IBs. But yeah, I've been getting into more and more IBs. So that's what I've been picking up recently. All right. So how about you, man? What are you drinking these days? Or what are you buying? What are you buying more of these days?
Dude, exactly the same, right? Again, just getting into IBs big time, right? Because how many OBs am I going to go out and buy, right? There's this joke in Friends where Joey ends up sleeping with the same girl, and they're like, "Did you just go around sleeping with every single girl in New York, and now you're back to the same girl?" And I feel that way about my OBs. So yeah, recently just buying a lot of IBs, man. And again, I agree with you, right? Which how do I talk about that on my channel? Because they're so, the runs are so limited. They're available only in very, very specific places and markets. And hence, what's the utility of that? As much as I'd love to talk about IBs, I feel that maybe there isn't enough appetite for that. Even though I have a number of people saying, "Hey man, let's talk IBs," right? Just like you. But I'm just trying to figure it out. I got a few good ones. I'll share some good ones with you recently. So Signatory Vintage is one of my absolute favorites. And I love everything that they do. I have here a 16-year-old Dallowayne. Oh, sorry, this is a 16-year-old Linkwood, which is, by the way, another very interesting distillery I've been getting into recently is Linkwood.
Yeah, Linkwood makes good stuff. Yeah.
And
now,
again,
is a sherry one, is it?
No, this is their bourbon cask series. This is bottled at 58.7%, 16 years old, and surprisingly affordable at about, I want to say, £70 or maybe like $90.
For the age, for the ABV, people give IBs a lot of shit because they can get expensive, but not always. And I do feel like, especially Signature, they have that 100 proof range. And that's kind of taken the whiskey world by storm. They're all over the place here in Taiwan. They're really affordable.
Funny you should say that. That was my next one, the Signatory 100 proof.
Right, yeah. No, I mean, everyone I know on the internet is talking about them right now just because of the level of affordability of these things. So which one's that? Which one is your, what Signature you got there?
So this one is a 10-year-old Kalila in sherry casks.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, and I love the fact, they all of them, because they're 100 proof, right? 57.1% ABV, and dude, between 55 and 65 pounds roughly is what you're getting them for, right? Which is whatever, $75-$80, which I think is just great value for money given what's happening these days. I have one more I want to share with you. This is I was at the Whiskey Exchange a couple of months ago in London, and they have their these bottlings called the seasons. So they have spring, autumn, winter, summer, and the spring one I picked up spring, and it's a 10-year-old Glentalkers, and I just fell in love with the label. It's such a beautiful, sunny, fruity label. It's got apples and cherries and vanilla and whatnot. And I get, 58.6% ABV, packs a punch, decent pricing as well. So yeah, right now, just to show you a little snapshot of what I've been getting, cask strength IBs from distilleries that I normally wouldn't buy OBs from, or that OBs aren't that generally available. Like, Blinkwood, GlenTalkers, for example. I just find them in IBs. And I think these are these really underrated distilleries that not many people, I mean, they might know about it, but not many people are drinking on a regular basis, right?
Yeah, no, I've got well, I'll show you what I've got right now. I've got a few IBs, and you know, again, they're too obscure. Like, this is from a Taiwanese IB called Grand Castle, and this one here is a Longmorn. It was distilled in 1996. However, it was bottled in 2012. So,
wow.
Yeah, so it's, you know, this was bottled literally almost 15 years ago, 13 years ago. And man, is it good. I mean, we talked about Longmorn earlier. It's one of my favorite brands. And anytime I come across an affordable IB, I snatch it up. This one is not, I wouldn't say it's cheap, but it was around the 100-pound mark. But for something, from way back in 1996, I believe it's bourbon barrel, and it's just the distillate absolutely shines. And another one.
Is it at cask strength?
Yeah, it's at cask strength. That's what's our IB our ABV here is 53.2, so not that strong.
Nice.
Next, I'm gonna get fancy on you. I've got a Macallan 17-year-old from Signatory.
Let's go.
That one is 57% ABV, first fill Oloroso sherry, so full-blown sherry bomb, but really rich, really deep flavors. It's not one where I wouldn't say you taste the Macallan distillate that much. So if you're looking for that sort of lighter touch from the cask, that is not the go-to. But once in a while, you're just in the mood for a sherry bomb. So I absolutely love that one. And
that one
more
stunning.
that I want to show you. Oh, it's good. You've had it, have you?
No, I haven't. I said it looks stunning.
Yeah, I think that one, again, we're talking expensive stuff here, but that one was around 100, and we're talking pounds, you're around 150, 160 pounds, something like that.
Man, for a 17-year-old cask strength Macallan?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's why I
it's the prices for entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
And last, I've got this one here, and this one's kind of an interesting one. This one was a gift from a buddy. It's from a brand called dram-fueled. And it's a Rins. I don't know if you've heard of Bruichladdich Rins.
Oh yes, of course I have.
Yeah. So it's not Port Charlotte. It's peated Bruichladdich. I believe it's slightly less peated than Port Charlotte, and it's a wild one. I just cracked it the other day. But yeah, this was sent by a friend in the States, and it is gorgeous. It is literally peated Bruichladdich in the sense that it doesn't taste like a Port Charlotte. It's got that sort of Bruichladdich funk, but they added some gentle peat to it. So it's a really interesting pour. So I've really been enjoying that. So yeah, few IBs that I've been getting into. But again, it's just the age-old question: how much do you want to talk about it on the channel?
I know. I think if we keep doing this regularly, this might be our little place where we talk about IBs without really worrying about whether we're gonna get an uptick in views or subscribers.
Yeah. No, I do think it's a good idea to just sort of like mention them once in a while, but any kind of dedicated review, you're not going to get the clicks. And I remember I mentioned that to somebody at one point, and they're like, "Oh, so what? You're trying to make money from your videos?" I mean, yeah, it'd be fucking nice.
It's the unspoken YouTuber rule, right? Which is
we're not allowed to say that. We're not allowed to say that. Son, give me the clicks, all right? Give me the money.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, this is awesome, man. Listen, before we sign off, I have a little game prepared for you. I know you've got some as well. Before we sign off, so this is what I'm gonna do. I want you to rank. I'm gonna name 5, let's say, 5 distilleries that produce peaty spirit, right? And okay. I want you to rank them blindly, which means you won't know which one's coming up next.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. So the theme here is peat, is it?
Yeah, the theme here is peat. So cool. I'm gonna warn you. There's a couple of curveballs in there.
All right, let's do it.
So rank them sensibly. All right.
All right.
Okay, cool. So, all right, let's go. Let's start with Kalila.
Kalila. All right, Kalila is a bit tough because Kalila is a little bit of everything, isn't it? So you can have some of the best peated whiskey you've ever had in your life, and you can also have some forgettable stuff. They put out a lot of IBs. I'm going to go... Oh, I hate to do it. I'm going to go 5. I'm going to go 5.
You going to go 5?
I'm going 5. I might live to regret that. That depends what comes next.
Oh my God.
I love Kalila. Come on, I love Kalila. But, you know, because they're all over the map, you know?
Okay. Fine, we'll put Kalila at 5. Okay, fine. We'll also agree that this is a no judgment zone, or else we're going to be fighting nonstop.
All right, I'm going to get canceled for this. Anyway, next one.
Okay, fine. The next one I have here is Kilkerran.
Kilkerran. Oh, that is a curveball. I was thinking it would be Isla. Kilkerran's going up. It's going up there. It's got to be 1 or 2. You know, just to give myself a little bit of space, I'm going to say 2.
Oh, okay. It's fine. Kilkerran 2. Yeah. Let's go with Laphroaig.
4. I love Laphroaig.
Okay.
But Laphroaig's going. It's getting a 4. It's getting a 4.
All right. Okay. No worries. Leitcheg.
3. I'm going 3 for Leitcheg. Right there in the middle. I think they're amazing. I think they're great, but I wouldn't put them at number 1. I don't know what's coming for number 1, but we'll see.
I didn't plan this, but at number 1, I have Ardbeg at the moment for you.
Hey, you know, works out. So what do we have? We have Ardbeg at number 1. We have, what I put, Kilkerran at number 2. Leitcheg number 3. Laphroaig number 4.
Kalila number 5.
You know,
that's a good list, by the way.
Kind of, yeah. I don't hate it.
That's a pretty good list.
I don't hate it.
That's a pretty good list.
All right.
Okay, what do you have for me?
You ready to switch it up? All right, so you went with the sherry stuff. You went with the peated stuff. I'm going with the sherried stuff. So 5 distilleries that are known for their sherried expression. And I'll start you off with a pretty obvious one. We'll kick it off with Glenfarclas.
Oh, Glenfarclas. I am a huge fan of Glenfarclas. I love their family cask series. I think they need to up their game when it comes to their OBs. But I do like them. I have a certain soft spot for them, so I won't put them at 5. I'm going to say Glenfarclas for me at number 4.
4. Glenfarclas at 4. Okay. Next, I have Speyburn.
Oh, that's a good one. I think Speyburn, super underrated. Not many people know about it. I think they do a very, very fresh, vibrant distillate. I love their whiskeys without them being overcomplicated. Do I like them more than Glenfarclas? In general, I'm going to say yes and put them at number 3 for now. I think the Speyburn 18 is one of the more outstanding whiskeys out there for me. So yeah, number 3, Speyburn.
Not expensive. Yeah, good choice. Okay, Speyburn. Exactly. So you got Speyburn at number, did you say 2 or 3?
3.
Speyburn at 3. All right, next, GlenAllachie.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you for that. So yes, I think I'm going to put GlenAllachie at number 1 right now. Just because I'm feeling them right now. I'm feeling them. The stuff that they're doing, both the IBs and the OBs, I think they're really hitting the spot. They're doing some good work, and I think they need the recognition. So GlenAllachie number 1 for me.
GlenAllachie number 1. Okay, bold. Next one, Mortlach.
Wow. Oh, that's a tough list. You're being sneaky here, man. Okay, Mortlach. I like the newer stuff that they're doing. Their new 16 is very, very good. But I'm going to be honest, some of their earlier stuff I was not a huge fan of. And I think reluctantly I'm going to put them at number 5 for now.
Number 5. Okay, fair enough. Which leaves our last one, which is Aberlour.
Aberlour at number 2?
Aberlour's number 2.
You know, I'm very happy with that list.
Right, so we got GlenAllachie, Aberlour, Speyburn, Glenfarclas, and Mortlach. Yeah, that worked out well, didn't it?
I think that's a great list, right? Again, with Aberlour, their newer stuff again is doing fantastically well. I love their new 18 double sherry cask, which is just stunning. I did a review of it a couple of years ago.
You turned me on to that one. I picked that one up based on your review. Absolutely loved it. Gorgeous stuff.
Right?
Yeah, fantastic.
Right? And then you can't fault a distillery that came out with something like the Abuna. So I think Aberlour at number 2 is probably a good pick.
That's a good one. Yeah, I just picked up an early batch of Abuna from 2011 or something. I've got the Abuna 41, batch 41 on the go. Beautiful stuff. Different, very different from the new stuff.
If I remember correctly, the earlier stuff, like within the first 10 batches, there was 30-year-old Abunas, 30-year-old Aberlours in there.
Oh wow! Never had the chance. Never tried them. Cool, man.
I think I had maybe one. I had like a batch 7 or a batch 8, courtesy a very, very generous friend of mine.
Okay, cool. So
cool. That was a good list, man.